There was a historical conference that happened last week. We sent Ina Richardson there. She represented us Africans. She did a fantastic job. Met many revolutionary movements from across Africa and across the world who all went into Niamey to support the revolutionary process. And I went on Google and I was trying to see if there was anything on the Western media.
Nothing.
And there was something on Sky News, the military dictatorships sweeping through the Sahel, and it was about how problematic these dictatorships are.
Yeah.
I'm going to circle back to the conversation that we had before about Western democracies. The reason why people are excited, it's not that we love men in military uniform, but we understand that our countries are not sovereign. They've been captured.
Yeah.
If we're going to have a democracy under these conditions, where the best funded campaign wins, where there's all these multinational corporations and institutions and mining companies who have these interests that fund a campaign, under those situations, we're never going to have a leader that represents us.
Yeah.
So the reason why we're putting our support behind Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, they're going through a stage of real decolonization. Not the type of stuff that you see in Western universities where they take this book out and they throw it into the dustbin, which is good, but it's small
not
scale.
an end in itself. Yeah.
Real decolonization. In Niger, we saw the mining contract with Orania scrapped. In Mali, we saw mining contracts with some of these gold mines scrapped. In Burkina Faso, we're seeing some of these media institutions, France 24, Radio France, all these other things kicked out because they're the propaganda arm of the mining companies, and they're constantly feeding to the people. These mining companies are good. Don't forget the fact that you're paid $1 a day, $2 a day. It's better than getting paid nothing a day. So this is why we're supporting. We realise for us to have the type of state and country that we want, to uplift the masses that we want, we need to go through a process of decolonization, and once we're sovereign states, independent sovereign states, then we can have the type of elections which are really free and fair, not going to the highest bidder.
Yeah, I think just still on that point, there's something you mentioned sometime last year. Basically, we need to take back democracy from what the West perceives it to be. For them, it's, after every 4 or 5 years, you go, vote, and then go home. As Toure said, that's the height of political irresponsibility. Politics shouldn't be just a one-off affair. It should be like a daily engagement. And, the West says it's a military dictatorship, a military junta. But look at the interest of the people of the Sahel. We want our resources to ourselves, or Rano gets kicked out. We don't want presence of the same people who colonized us still staying here militarily. The French were kicked out. That is democracy because it represents what the people want. Let's look at Kenya in comparison. If you ask the US, they'll say, yeah, you guys voted in 2022, very democratic, so this is a democratic country. But Kenyans did not want the finance bill, which was backed by the IMF. It was still bulldozed. It took the deaths of like 60-something people for that bill to be taken out. And it's still being shoved in small bits. So these companies like Finlays, which own tens of thousands of acres of land, and as of now, they even cause unemployment because they're bringing machines, which means they no longer have to pay for these services to the local communities. If you ask these local communities, they tell you, we want our lands back, because in the first place, these companies did not legitimately get hold of this land. This is land we were dispossessed from. But Ruto's administration will tell you, but we need the money. This is a company that generates dollars, and as a country, we need dollars. But that does not represent the interests of the people.